Alright, we gotta review some power rule, product rule from module 1. So let's look at this one. We're taking the derivative of x to the fourth. Well, that part's super easy, isn't it? That's just going to be what? 4x to the third power. But now we have this new one, this new type of function that we just talked about how to find the derivatives of. So what's going to happen? I multiply this 4 by, well, -5, right? So you will get -20. -20. But the exponential term, you need to keep it exactly the same, okay? See, the exponential term is e to the 4x power, right? You gotta write exactly the same thing. E to the 4x power. And that's it. Not bad, right? Okay. Let me go down here. Ugh, okay. Now this looks bad. I think we're gonna have to use the product rule on this because look, we have a product of that red trinomial who is getting multiplied this by this cute little e to the x power. So I will review product rule with you. Product rule. We have to do first times the derivative of the second plus second times the derivative of the first. Where first is that trinomial I highlighted in red. If you take the derivative of that, that is 6x minus 5. Now look, the new piece of the function g is e to the x, and we just learned that the derivative of e to the x is e to the x. So I got all 4 of my pieces labeled. So what is the derivative of this function? Let's start with first times. F is this red trinomial. So I'm multiplying this 3x squared minus 5x plus 2 by the derivative of the second, which is e to the x, plus, what is g? G is e to the x again. They are the same, right? E to the x. Now I'm multiplying this by the derivative of the red function, which is this 6x minus 5. So I'll write that down, 6x minus 5. Now let's simplify this. Notice that they both have e to the x, right? I'll factor that out. I'll factor this and this out to the front. So I'll write down e to the x in the front, and what's left inside? 3x minus 5x plus 2. That's what I wrote down just now. Plus what? 6x minus 5. Now we get to simplify some like terms inside, right? So look, I got this, here's a different color. I have this 3x squared. Oh, sorry, that doesn't have a like term, so I'll just write 3x squared. But this minus 5x and this plus 6x, I can combine and get plus 1x. 6 minus 5 is 1. And then another like term, I have this 2 and minus 5. And 2 minus 5 is -3. So that is how you can simplify your answer all the way. That's a very good example of a product rule review. Okay, I think I may have one more down here. I'll show you how to do this one. Okay, another product rule, we have a product of x squared times e to the 4x. So red and green are multiplying. So I will do product rule, which is first times the derivative of the second times second times the derivative of the first. First is x squared, then what's f prime? 2x. Second is e to the 4x. Oh, gotta be careful because this is the new stuff. What is the derivative of e to the 4x? 4ex. 4 times e to the 4x. That 4 came down, right? This is like kind of similar example we did over and over again on the previous video, but this g prime is the only new piece of the learning that we had in this lesson. All the other ones were from previous unit, really, right? So let's find y prime. Okay, now first times, that's x squared. The derivative of the second, which is, you know what, where is that one? This down here. I'll put the 4 in the parenthesis I'll put the e to the 4x in the parenthesis. That's okay, right? It's the same blue. And then after that, I need to put the plus sign. What's g? G is e to the 4x. And I'm multiplying this by f prime. And f prime is 2x. All right. Now we're done with calculus. Let us simplify this by factoring out the like term. What's a common factor? This. That's a common factor, isn't it? Not only that, but you notice how they both have, I think there's more than one common factor. I think we can do more than that. Well, but let me factor out the e term first though, just because there's more, but I'm just going to factor out this exponential term. What's left inside? Well, if you multiply those two, you get 4x squared, right? And then copy down this plus sign. What's left in the second part? That's the only thing left, 2x. All right. You can stop there, but I noticed that 4x squared and 2x, they can be both divided by 2x, right? So let's factor out that common factor of 2x. So if I factor out the common factor of 2x, I will have that 2x in the front, okay? And this e to the 4x comes down. And what's left inside this parenthesis? 4x squared divided by 2x will be 2x. Oh, that will be 2x plus, well, 2x divided by 2x, okay, that's not 0. Anything divided by itself is 1. Therefore, inside the parenthesis simplifies very nicely into 2x plus 1. So keep on practicing simplifying your algebraic expression using various algebra skills like factoring and simplifying like terms. Okay, but these three were review of power and product rule, adding on this very new topic that we just learned about in this section, that the derivative of e to the x is equal to what? Itself. Okay, so keep on remembering this rule. Another one was that if you have a function that looks like this, derivative of e to the cx, okay, what happened was that c came down to the front, right? But the exponential term stayed exactly the same. So these are the two new rules that have been added to our rule of calculus, and we'll look at more examples in the next page.